Jerry was working on his driveway under the hot sun when something strange caught his eye, a metal cover hidden in the concrete. Curiosity took over. Tugging at it, Jerry uncovered a trapdoor that led to a dimly lit underground room. His heart raced as he peered inside, and without hesitation, he called the police. His voice trembled as he described the bizarre discovery, his day suddenly turning into an unexpected journey into the unknown. But before we dive into the story, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our exciting stories. As sirens echoed in the distance, Jerry climbed out of the opening and stood nervously on his driveway, waiting for the authorities. His mind raced with questions. What could be hidden beneath his home? When the police arrived, they entered the mysterious room. Jerry watched as they explored the space, leaving him anxious about what they would find. For months, Jerry had been trying to fix up his driveway, a task long overdue. That day, as he cleared away the clutter and worked on the cracks, he noticed something unusual, a rectangular metal hatch embedded in the concrete. At first, he dismissed it, but the more he worked, the more it nagged at him. Unable to resist, Jerry grabbed a screwdriver and pried the hatch open. Beneath it, a long tunnel stretched into the ground. Intrigued but cautious, Jerry fetched a ladder from his garage. As he was about to descend, his neighbor, Lorraine, approached. She had lived there long before Jerry, and he hoped she might know something about the strange discovery. Lorraine recalled a couple who lived there years ago, but her memory faded, leaving Jerry with more questions than answers. Disappointed but determined, Jerry geared up with a flashlight, gloves, and a face mask before climbing down into the unknown. Jerry descended into the tunnel, heart pounding, as he carefully made his way down the ladder. The air was thick with dust, and the darkness closed in around him. His flashlight flickered across the room, revealing scattered boxes, old furniture, and, unexpectedly, a baby crib. The room seemed frozen in time, untouched for decades. As Jerry moved cautiously through the clutter, he came across something unsettling, a hidden door. The door, secured with a rusty padlock, piqued Jerry's curiosity even more. With a metal rod found among the debris, he struggled to break the lock. After a few forceful attempts, the padlock finally gave way and the door creaked open. A cold draft met him as he peered into the dark stairwell leading even deeper underground. Every nerve in his body urged caution, but Jerry couldn't resist the pull of the mystery. He descended the stairs, flashlight trembling in his hand. The walls, lined with thick, strange materials, hinted at some form of fortification. What could this place have been? Each step felt heavier as the possibility of uncovering something extraordinary gripped him. At the bottom of the stairway, he found another room, even larger than the one above. Here, rows of sealed metal boxes lined the walls, each adorned with intricate locks and warning labels. Jerry's hands trembled as he attempted to pry one open. After what felt like hours, he succeeded. Inside, he found aged photographs, documents, and artifacts that seemed to belong to a different era. His mind raced. This was no ordinary storage. These items were significant, perhaps even illegal or dangerous. Jerry knew he needed help to figure this out, but his phone had no signal in the depths of the bunker. Panic surged through him as he realized he was isolated in a secret underground room surrounded by unknown treasures. With no other choice, Jerry quickly repacked the box and raced back up the stairs, his flashlight barely cutting through the dark. He had to get to the surface, call for help, and figure out what exactly he had stumbled upon beneath his own home. Jerry finally emerged into the daylight, gulping fresh air as he hastily dialed 911. His hands shook as he explained the gravity of his discovery, the hidden room, and the artifacts. The dispatcher, calm and collected, asked, "Are you in immediate danger?" Jerry struggled to explain how valuable and potentially dangerous these items might be. "These things, they're old, maybe priceless. They could be stolen, or worse," he insisted. Soon the wail of police sirens filled the air, and a couple of patrol cars pulled up in front of Jerry's house. The officers exchanged puzzled looks as Jerry led them to the concealed stairwell. They cautiously ventured down, unsure of what they were about to uncover. Jerry remained on edge, feeling the weight of his discovery pressing down on him. As they carefully opened the first box, what they found inside left them stunned. Stacks of neatly bundled cash, possibly millions of dollars. The officers' eyes widened in disbelief as they realized the magnitude of what had been hidden under Jerry's driveway for decades. More boxes followed, each revealing more bundles of cash, and the room quickly became a hive of activity as investigators documented the discovery. Questions swirled. Where had this money come from? Whose was it? A detective on the scene quickly connected the dots. A notorious bank robbery from 2 decades ago had left millions missing. The case had gone cold, and the robbers had never been caught. Suddenly, the pieces began to fit. Could Jerry's house have been a hideout for the fugitives? Had they left their loot behind, hidden underground? Jerry listened in shock as the police discussed the possibility. The evidence was overwhelming. His house had unknowingly been a vault for stolen money. As the investigation unfolded, the detectives dug into the house's history. The previous owners had vanished without a trace, and it all seemed to point toward the long unsolved bank heist. Suddenly, Jerry's ordinary home became the center of a thrilling mystery, and the quiet suburban neighborhood buzzed with the news. As the authorities pieced together the puzzle, one question remained. Where were the thieves now? The investigation quickly turned into a full-blown manhunt. The police, now armed with a crucial lead, began searching for the missing couple who had sold Jerry the house. The evidence pointed to them as the robbers behind the unsolved bank heist from 2 decades ago. Detectives scoured old property records, bank transactions, and interviewed neighbors, slowly piecing together a trail that had gone cold for years. Months passed as the search intensified, spreading from Jerry's small town to far-flung places. Then, a breakthrough came. A tip led detectives to a small coastal town where an elderly couple was living under assumed identities. Surveillance footage and eyewitness accounts helped the authorities confirm their identities. The couple had been hiding in plain sight, believing they had outsmarted the law. In a quiet operation, law enforcement surrounded a local cafe where the couple often went. They were arrested without incident, their faces a mix of resignation and defeat. After 2 decades on the run, their past had finally caught up with them. Back in Jerry's town, the community buzzed with disbelief. How could this quiet, unassuming couple be the masterminds behind a major bank heist? As the news spread, people couldn't help but wonder how they had managed to evade capture for so long. The hidden underground room, fortified to conceal their ill-gotten fortune, had finally given away their secret. With the couple in custody, the authorities began the process of cataloging the stolen money and returning it to the rightful owners. It was a long, painstaking effort, but for Jerry, the ordeal was far from over. The hidden room still weighed heavily on his mind. Friends and family suggested turning it into a man cave or a home gym, but Jerry wasn't sure he could ever use it for something so lighthearted. The place had too much history, too many secrets. Weeks after the arrest, Jerry received an unexpected letter from the bank. In recognition of his accidental role in solving the cold case, the bank decided to reward him. The reward was more than enough to pay off his mortgage, leaving Jerry stunned and speechless. His mind spun with the possibilities, but the hidden room still loomed large in his thoughts. Despite the reward, the hidden room continued to haunt Jerry's thoughts. Every evening he found himself standing at its entrance, contemplating what to do with it. Suggestions from friends and family flooded in: transform it into a wine cellar, a rental space, or even a private cinema. But none of the ideas felt right. The room carried too much of the past, too many secrets buried beneath its surface. Jerry was torn between preserving the space as a piece of local history or sealing it off forever. The discovery had brought closure to a long unsolved mystery, but it also unearthed something darker, reminders of the lives that had been lived in secret and on the run. Jerry knew he had to make a decision. After weeks of deliberation, Jerry decided that the room's history, while intriguing, was not something he wanted to carry with him. He reached out to contractors and began the process of sealing the underground chamber for good. The work was extensive, but with each step, Jerry felt a sense of closure. The room, once a secret vault for stolen wealth, was now being erased from his home and his life. As the contractors finished their work, Jerry stood over the newly sealed ground, feeling a weight lift off his shoulders. The hidden room had served its purpose, revealing its secrets and solving a mystery that had lingered for decades. Now it was time to move forward. With the past behind him, Jerry looked to the future. The reward money gave him the freedom to pursue dreams he had long put on hold. He considered investing in a business, donating to charity, or even traveling the world, possibilities that had once seemed out of reach. The hidden room, once a source of anxiety, had now become a catalyst for a brighter future. Though the underground chamber was gone, its story would remain a part of local lore. Jerry knew that, for years to come, people would talk about the secret room beneath his driveway and the incredible discovery that had been made there. But for Jerry, the chapter was closed. He had uncovered the mystery, faced the unknown, and emerged on the other side, ready to start anew.